I attract everything I need to become successful. Everything I touch turns to gold. I stay focused on my goals. I am constantly improving and getting better. I am self-motivated. My mindset is my most valuable asset. I seek knowledge on success and I apply it in my life. I can overcome all obstacles. I have the power to create the success I desire. I attract money with value I provide to the world. I see the opportunity in every situation. I am self-reliant, creative, and persistent in whatever I do. I have great ideas. I am always learning and growing. I take action that brings me closer to my goals every day. I can achieve greatness. I was born to be successful. I am successful. I was born to be great. I am powerful. I am unstoppable. I can do anything. I make smart decisions. I attract everything I need to become successful. Everything I touch turns to gold. I stay focused on my goals. I am constantly improving and getting better. I am self-motivated. My mindset is my most valuable asset. I seek knowledge on success and I apply it in my life. I can overcome all obstacles. I have the power to create the success I desire. I attract money with value I provide to the world. I see the opportunity in every situation. I am self-reliant, creative, and persistent in whatever I do. I have great ideas. I am always learning and growing. I take action that brings me closer to my goals every day. I can achieve greatness. I was born to be successful. I am successful. I was born to be great. I am powerful. I am unstoppable. I can do anything. I make smart decisions. I attract everything I need to become successful. Everything I touch turns to gold. I stay focused on my goals. I am constant.
What's up? We're back again. I don't even know how long we've been doing this. I just know we have been rocking week in, week out. What's up, Crypto Party family? Got a lot of feedback. People texting me saying, yo, you're killing the zones. Let's keep getting these zones. Let's keep making this money. Let's keep maximizing on what it is that we're doing every single day. So what I'm gonna actually do inside the Telegram, I'm gonna drop the YouTube link so we can go ahead and have everything. Like, you can go watch the recording on YouTube. You can go drop your questions. You can go do what you need to do, because I want to be able to have more of an intimate connection with you guys. I don't want you guys to be here and have questions that's not answered. Because if we can get your questions answered, that means you're going to be able to make a little bit more pips in the market. You're going to get a little bit more understanding when it comes to trading in a bear market. When it comes to trading in a bull market, it doesn't matter if Bitcoin is going up or down. You're going to be able to make gains inside your MetaTrader 4. So first things first, I want you to download your MetaTrader 4 app if you don't have it. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm glad you're here. You're going to have an unbelievable experience. If you're a repeating person coming, take advantage of the zones. Keep the zones in there. I personally have TradingView Pro, so I can have up to 20 alerts, meaning I can hold 10 alerts on Bitcoin and Ethereum each. So I can hold zones from in the past. So as long as it keeps breaking and closing, I can get another entry, get another trade. That's to take profit, whatever it is that you need to do. Make sure you're doing. Matter of fact, since we're here, we got a few minutes. I'm going to go over to the site so you can see what exactly is going on. You see, this is, y'all are seeing the Zoom play right here on the site. The site that you guys will always see is this. Let me see. And I see we got Daff and Mr. May on the call on the back line in the inner circle. So, yep. So I'm going to go ahead. This is what you see when you click the link inside of Telegram. What Telegram are you talking about? I'll show you in a few seconds. So after this call, this will be changed to the 14th. We're doing it every Tuesday. You ever wanted to trade crypto without doing research, you don't have to download Zoom. You don't have to do any of that unless you're in the inner circle and you get a little bit more sauce. I'm talking about we're starting to partner with credit. We're starting to do different things. I know some people who do trucking. I know some people who's killing the game in e-commerce. Telling you, this is just the start. So what you do is you come over here, you enter in your information and make sure you get your ticket. Once you get your ticket, before you get your virtual ticket, click on one of these. If you have an Android, download MT4. If you have a Mac, iPhone, iPad, download MT4. Get MT4 because on the next page, and actually I just thought of a great idea to get more people to actually learn. On the next page, when you come here, you're going to want to hit play and you're going to want to hit the unmute button. Once you do that, you'll be able to hear everything. You might even be able to go watch the recording. But if you scroll down, step 1, learn how to enter trades on an MT4. Got a video right there. Just so if you don't know how to do it, you'll learn how to do it today. Yeah, I might be hard to get in contact with. You might not know my Instagram, but if you have this, I want this thing to run. So if God, I plan on living a long life, but if I'm ever gone, you can still come to this site and still get information and still learn and still make money to make gas prices going high. This is going to allow you to at least get gas money every single week. This is going to at least allow you to get, I don't know, groceries. You might want to make you a steak. Steak is going through the roof at the grocery stores. You'll be able to do that. As you scroll down, you can get started for a discount. Invite others to the next event. Next one is going to be June 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And the free group, this is the Telegram where you can stay up to date inside of the Telegram. So once you're here, boom, you'll get inside the Telegram to where you'll actually see this right here. You'll see live here now. Ozone just broke. 10 minutes until kickoff. And if I go in here and look, we bought an NFT today and sold it within 30 seconds for a profit. We're going to talk about these things. I'm telling you, we're doing this thing now. If you want personal mentorship for a year, that's going to be at least $5,000. But you can be inside this free Telegram, get in game, learn about NFTs, being able to hop into these trades. And just to show you, I want you to see what's really going on. Buy Bitcoin break. Last week, May 31st, buy Bitcoin break 31,225. We'll scroll down. 300 pips in profit by the next morning. 700 pips in profit. A lot of people missed it, but people capitalized off it. 1,300 pips, 1,500. You would have at least been able to catch 2,800 pips in one day. 2,100 pips, that's anywhere from $21 on the very, very lowest lot size. But if we're talking about funded accounts, you could have made you $200 to $2,000 in a day. What does that do for you? That's groceries, that's rent. Start taking advantage of what it is that we got going on. So what are we using? What are we using to actually dive in to these things? Swipe Coin Scalper. Now, I want you to see, this said break and close above this red box. We're going to get into a buy. Well, what happened? We got an arrow. We got it up here. When it did this, you could have bought Bitcoin right here at $30,000 and made you 1,000 pips. But now you're probably like, okay, well, I'm here now. For anybody who has access to the tool, I'm here now. How do I get into trades? Let's go over at top right corner. Go live. This is where we're finna dive into the rest of the day. Go to go live. Scroll down. You can click on DCX. If you click on DCX, you're going to see one of the first educators is going to be Sean Ogatussin. He goes live. Monday has a full overview. Tuesday, Scalper Tuesday and Scalper Thursday. I click on his name. If you scroll down, you're going to see all the sessions are recorded. You can come in right here and learn exactly what we got going on. So I'm about to hit play. We're about to go ahead, dive into the session. We're going to go ahead and get the zones. I'm going to go ahead and update the Telegram as well. But be ready, be in position, take the trades, and let's win this week. So I'll catch you in about 50 minutes to wrap things up.
Let me put that out. Scalper Tuesday is always such a fun time. Did anyone catch? I mean, let's revisit this. Like, what? So we did something yesterday where we created multiple zones. I mean, for one, look at this. Slight correction and drop. I mean, you got to attend these Monday calls. So I know we have people that only attend Tuesday and Thursday because you may feel like you are too advanced. But look at the zonery. We were doing zone mastery yesterday. So if you missed this call yesterday, I would recommend every single person to watch it after. Like, if you missed it, this is what we did yesterday. We literally marked up all fours. I don't really do it because it takes time. It's time consuming after doing, because you talk about it, then you teach it. So I don't do it all the time. Like, look at the zone we did earlier. We did 4, and we did it right here in the middle of when it came down. This is what we're really working on. Look at what happened earlier. You could have caught a whole buy. Do you understand? You can use these zones we're doing for multiple things. You don't delete them. Like, look at it. It's sat here, bought right here. You could have caught another buy. It chilled. And this is a potential sell right here again. Like, these zones are your best friend. Hello. Like, what? Come on now. So if you didn't catch these zones, I would definitely try to write these out. So just because it's a support, remember, support and resistance are based out of, just so you have an idea, support and resistance are based out of the position of where the market is currently at. So technically, I always use this reference to help people understand support and resistance and how you look at it. Basically, if there's like 8 levels in an apartment and you are on level 6, your feet is the support of level 6. But when you look up, you're looking at you're looking at your roof, right? Although in level 7, that's their floor. So always understand it's a perception of where the market currently is. So you may say, well, Sean, that's a support. Well, support and resistance is kind of interchangeable. It just kind of depends where the market is currently at. A lot of people was going crazy because they learned so much. I had people hitting me up on Instagram about how much they got. I mean, man. So if you wasn't on a session yesterday, I mean, I'm even taking a couple of minutes just to even talk about it. Like, you really missed out. So I'm telling you, it's not always Farcoin Scalper step by step. We actually do different things that I feel like will make sense. But man, you would have missed out. You missed out potential sell here and a potential buy here and another potential buy. That's 3 moves with something that we did. So the market didn't we thought it was either gonna correct, which it did, then it sold again. We knew it was going to do that. So, man, if you missed out yesterday, you really slipped up. No income claims, so thank you for yesterday. I love that. Appreciate the love. Fire session, caught the down and back up. Perfect. Can you catch a sell on the first sell, even if the market is not below the 50 EMA? Are you talking about right here? When you say I'm trying to figure out, are you talking about up? Oh, you talking about first as in right here. It's an aggressive approach, and I bet Super Trend is kind of red. I would remark up the chart. Personally, I would remark up the chart. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. We're not gonna leave this up because of where the market's currently at. I need to find another resistance. But it's pretty aggressive to use this as a support. I'm just gonna remark it. We're gonna do ETH first though. So you can open up ETH, open up your trading view, because we will put these alerts. But if I was you, I would take a picture, do what you have to do, write this for later. This is four bonus zones for you. If I was you, I would do that. You can use these zones for sells or buys. It kind of just depends where the market is currently at. Like at the same time, I'm giving a lot of potential predictions, but it kind of they're based off of what the market is currently at. So if the market goes the other way, I'm moving off of what we see currently. So a lot of times I'm giving a lot of ifs. So I do want you to have the understanding that I'm coming from a different approach. But man, yesterday was a crazy call. I'm happy some of y'all were on it. How do I get Swipecoin to keep my? You just save it. You just click save. Thailand, what's good? Naja, what's good? If this is your first time on a call, this may not. This is gonna be a fast call. So if this is your first time on a call, like, hey, Sean, it's my first time, I would recommend watching like a Swipecoin Scalper Basics 101, or I have a lot of overview calls in my favorites. Watch one of those. So what I just dropped was the blueprint. So I dropped the blueprint, and that's like a step-by-step of how to use a scalper. So if you brand new, you don't have access to it, you need to save that. You came on a call, you came on a live call, you might as well get that information. Save that. You need that step-by-step. If you need to know how to use it step-by-step, that is something that I would recommend watching a call, Swipecoin Scalper overview. I do have a call for that. But again, today's going to be a faster session. I'm not going to lie. But it looks like there may be potential sells. So let's do ETH first. So let's do a fresh chart. All right. So first thing I want you to write is ETH and BTC move very similar. ETH and BTC move very similar. There's a potential sell happening right now. Broke the 50 EMA. Woo! We have some action. But if I was you right here, this is just basics understanding. If I was you right now and you're thinking, Sean, should I get in? Okay, this is basics. And I have some people that are not in IM, and we talk about the charts, right? And they ask me for advice so many times. And one thing they just always mess up on is that 50 EMA. All right, so the 50 EMA is the yellow thing, right? Which in step 2, you're like, well, if it's above, let's move this. If the blue line's above, it's sell, cool. Yada, 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 right? If it's below, sell, right? Yes or no? Do we make assumptions, or do we base off of what's currently moving? Yes or no? This is currently moving. Do we make assumptions off what's currently moving? Yes or no? Wicks tell a story. These two have heavy wicks, which means price dropped heavy. That's, oh my gosh, that's 600 pips. It reversed and went above the 50 EMA. Okay, it came back and did the same thing again. It didn't go that deep, but it was pretty big. That's about almost 300, 250, right? It did that twice, and it stayed above the 50 EMA. There are people that will look at that and call a sell. Whenever you see something like this, it is an indecision at the current moment. If you're making an assumption off of these two and you just not, that's good. If you're making it off of this and you've seen this drop and you're like, oh, this is all selling. Yes or no? At the same time, it can bounce off It can bounce off. And what has happened in the past is what can happen in the current. You don't make assumptions when there's 10 minutes left. I mean, you could potentially make an assumption, but it's no close. So it'd be one, personally, you don't want to make an assumption off what's currently moving. You want to make it off what's to the closest that's close. And what's closest that's close, I wouldn't even get in for a sell right here. So even if let's say this was that, like, let's say it moved places and we had something that was right here and then we have something coming down, that's a little bit different if it's like the first 5 minutes. Like, you want to make that decision. But don't make a decision of what's moving, because at the end of the day, what's currently moving, you technically X and you see what's here. So you act like this isn't it. You act like this doesn't exist, and what you have is not even it looks like it could bounce off. So, I mean, these are quick things that you have to see, especially on my Tuesdays and Thursdays, guys, that come on. You have to see them and quickly think, okay, I'm not getting for a sell, even though it looks tempting, right? It can bounce off. But anyways, just some things I just quickly saw. So let's actually start from scratch. Woo! It's Tuesday. I keep making money. Can you make price action boot camp so we can understand the cattle patterns and what they tell us? Yeah, I definitely got you. Closes, beautiful. Closes, beautiful. All right. So let's go back to it. ETH. All right, so I have the ETH form. If this is your first time on the call, you're gonna have to learn fast today. Today's not necessarily for 100% beginners, but just take notes. All right, so first things first, we're gonna go by the steps. I already dropped the steps in the chat. Can someone drop the blueprint steps for anyone that might need it? It's there. Just go my message only. It's on there. All right, so we're going to move the candles to a line. So now we have a blue line, right? The yellow line is orange. That's the 50 EMA. Cool. Now look at step 2. Step 1 and step 2 takes less than 10 seconds. Step 2 is the blue line below the yellow or orange line. Well, yes and no. But what's step, it's in the step 2. Is the blue line touching the yellow orange line? Is it hugging? It kind of looks like it is. It's an indecision. That's why I'm like, I'm not rushing a sell. Although I probably would look for support. I would. The reason why is that you always want to make sure that whatever you make in your assumption or theories or whatever on, you don't want to make it on of what's currently moving. You want to make it on what's just recently closed and what you see in a day or two, right? And if you take this off, it's on the 50 EMA. So it's very dangerous to get in for a sell. Very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. So, all right. So now that we have this, we are going to do step 3. Step 3 is pretty easy. Well, it should be easy if you've been on my Monday calls. Support and resistance, here's the picture. This is the angle of what we're really looking for. 623, we're about to do a support and resistance real quick. But here's the angle of what you're looking for. Here's the angle of what you're looking for. Either a buy from above or a sell from the bottom. We're counting how many times does price stop at a familiar area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're looking for the support right here. But let's say this doesn't really exist. Then it's just 1, 2, 3, right? Then you're kind of looking on the days. That's why I made a thing called TPS. It's to help you. So you are a confident trader. Believe that you can find them. I get it. Support and resistance used to scare me because I just never thought I could understand it because there was so many complexities, right? But understand, I love your class. I love you, FX Hop 3. Talk to me, right? Look at it bounce. Talk to me, right? Come on now. Didn't we just say that? Didn't we just say that? Didn't we just say that? Stop. These people rush for sales like it's nothing. And it's just like it bounced off the 50 EMA literally right here. And it's doing the same thing again. But guess what? There are people that don't attend classes. There are people that don't attend IM, and they think they know it all. just wasted money in their account. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so how do I find a support? I always start from here. Oh, my. We may need to look at the resistance first. So let's look at the resistance. So let's look at the resistance since it's coming upward. Oh my gosh, this is easy. So, I mean, you're going to look right here, but you're also looking from the right to the left. I'm very curious of do you see that it dropped heavy? But what held this up before it dropped heavy? You got to think like that. If you have to write what I just said down, write it down so you're thinking like that. What held it up before it dropped? Think that is a structure. That is life. What held somebody up before they drop, right? So why don't you use the same logic? So this also stayed here too. I'm so excited because I know the right to the left is going to click. We go right here. Talk to me like, come on. 1854. I mean, we could even do 1855. But I'll do 1854. I mean, you can do 1855. So let's do 1855, right? Did I not make that? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 by June 6th. In one full day, it hit 10 times. So we're going to go right here in the question mark and fill it in. Fill it in. 1855.0. But remember, we always ignore this digit number. So technically, it's 1860. We do it to create space because the market will always tap a resistance and go the other way. Like, you got to create a little gap so when you see it break, you're not jumping the gun because it barely tapped because you're money hungry. Uh-oh, I may hit a spot. Right? So what I'm saying is if it closes above 1860, that is a potential buy. So that is pretty, that's 500 pips. It's not bad. And I mean, I just don't see any others. I mean, you could buy from the bottom and find a support and buy from the bottom. That's the only time, but it's just stuff like that. I wouldn't jump in for a buy yet. And I need a lot more validation that it's going to buy, especially after it dropped right here and right here. You need the market to, one, engulf what you just see, at least. So, I mean, which puts you at least right there. So anybody that's trying to look in early, I mean, you got two huge bearish action right there that you would have to engulf. That's love. That's love. Appreciate it. Y'all got 1855, 1858, 1859. We're looking at it. 1851. Come on now. That's like right there. You good. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. I'm loving what I'm seeing in the chats. Talk to me. Hello. So now we going right here. We at 185, whatever this 50 EMA is at. I mean, it's up to you. It's a personal decision what you call it. 1850, 1806, 1807, doesn't really matter. It's still 180 something, right? Cool. We're gonna go down. And guys, like, if you just watch, I start from here. I start from where this is. I understand where this is. 629. We need to get, I like to finish one of them before 630. So I'm gonna do it quick. Sales are here. It might make me be aggressive, but I'm curious. As much as I want to be aggressive, I'm going to use a little price action. So market came down hard, and yes, it did a little stop here, but it stopped here. I would use 1773 personally. I would use that because of how market came back up to it. I would use 1773 and look at it from the right to the left. It looks really good. Personally, that's what I would use. So, I mean, if you didn't get that, you may have gotten, I'm just thinking of what you could possibly have gotten. Probably got this, maybe got that. But I would definitely be curious of, you see how price broke through, but it came back up? You gotta, those type of things, and then it correlates over here. So you gotta also figure, you gotta catch, like, you gotta capture those type of things. So when you see the market drop, it's good for you when you're coming back and you get to mark up a chart. It's easy, right? Because you get to see, because one, an impulse is beautiful, but two, you want to see where it came back up. Came back up here, then dropped again, right? Also here, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? Even if you went up here, you're looking at 3, 1, 2, 3. But you go here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And not only that, you got support acting like a resistance. Support, resistance, 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 support. Come on now, right? Come on now. Like, beautiful. Support acting like resistance, just like that. It's like, guys, I'm not making anything up. Right? I'm just speaking what we already got. You could potentially get in earlier, but I mean, again, there's aggressive approaches if you want to do that. If you have super trend, which we will go over, there are aggressive approaches, at the same time. But just FYI, these are the safe ones. There are aggressive ways to get in, which we will look at. Thanks to these classes, I can scalp trades almost daily. Why not 1781? I think I just went over it. Why not? Oh, you said ah. So I mean it's not bad, but I mean at the same time you do got heavy here. So I mean if you do this, you got straight resistance, right? Straight resistance, which you could use now as a support, but you have nothing to show right here that it was once a support. Here you got support action. Now, and you also have old resistance action. It just, I mean, you could do that, but it's definitely gonna respect this. So you may get maybe 20 pips, 40 pips, but it's still gonna respect that. So you just gotta be a little bit mindful of those type of things. And this is why Scalper Tuesday is beneficial, right? So we're about to go to soon BTC, but I'm gonna talk about some aggressive approaches. So let's talk about some aggressive approaches. I'm loving this Scalper Tuesday call. I know I'm not going to be able to do it on Thursday because I'll be on vacation. Although you will see me back again. I rarely take vacation, guys. Like, rarely. I'm talking about rarely. I don't even like it. I hate it. I don't see how people take vacation. Until I'm up a particular amount in my life, that's the only way I would do it. But it is what it is, right? So let's talk about some aggressive approaches. We're going to add super trend. We're going to do BTC real quick at around 640. I'm central. So let's look at some aggressive approaches that I know I have people that would be eager, right? So we're going to go to super trend. So super trend confirms step 4. Super trend confirms basically where the market is currently doing. Why is that important for someone that wants to go aggressive? You may already have marked up your chart and you may think you have an early way in to get in. The only thing I would recommend is super trend better be on your side. If you're calling it before super trend, it's way too early. If you are saying it's selling and super trend is still green for a buy, it's too early. Don't do it. You could practice on your demo and see if you're better than a super trend. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not fully loaded. I could do scalper without super trend because I believe simple markups I feel like it's that effective, efficient. Although super trend kind of confirms what I'm looking at and kind of gives me another idea of what I'm personally seeing. Even though you stop and do that, and just to let you know, my Instagram is KINGSEUN3. Even though you stop and do that, you do need to make sure you have 1-1 right here. 1-1. So 1-1. All right. Cool. So Super trend right now is saying it's still selling, right? Still selling. Current, I wouldn't recommend getting in if it didn't break because it's bouncing off the 50 EMA. I would wait to get in a little bit later, and then possibly I may not even want to get in yet. I mean, the only time I would even look to get in is maybe here, maybe 10 pips. I mean, 100 pips before, but it's just the only way you could have aggressively gotten in is if you would have sold from the top. So the ways to sell from a top and sell from the bottom is definitely looking from the right to the left. So if the market has came back up here, you want to see what has happened. If you see a lot of times where the market is kind of in the middle and it's just coming up, down, up, down, up, down, and it's more heavily focused up here than giving like a full action. When I mean full, I mean here. See, it's full. You may need to be a little cautious selling down. But if you see that it dropped, always remember the market has to feel itself eventually, right? It has to retrace. So one, it did right here, but this is a beautiful sign when you see this and see this to know there's definitely an opportunity for you to sell from the top. Selling from the top is basically where market was supposed to buy, and just because it didn't buy and it stayed here, you do not. That is, do not. If you have to write something, do not immediately get in for a sell if you're about to get in for a buy. That is a no-no. You shouldn't even feel good about yourself if you do that. That's the problem with teaching this, because I tell people that and they just, I'm about to get in for a buy, instead I'm getting for a sell. Like, why? Like, no, right? Give the market some time to reveal itself, right? Because there's a thing called correction. There's a thing called the market could come back in a little bit and then shoot up again. There's a thing called it can chill here and shoot up again. Like, do you understand? Like, that is a very dangerous way, because you are one big impulse away from blowing your account if you catch reversals too early. So please don't get in. If you're about to get in for a buy, which you were right here at one of these candles, this one here or this one, you're going to get in for a buy, right? I know you were. Look at it, didn't close. It shot up. That's why we wait for closes. It shot up, and I know it hit our price, right? It hit our price here. Still went back inside. It did the same thing here. Still went back inside. Did the same thing here. Still went back inside. You shouldn't even be thinking sells yet. So it did this. 2 candles. You always want to look for at least 2. At this point, this is still a little bit early because you see this whole candle here. Technically, you would want it to engulf, but I mean, you basically at halfway of the chart, of your structure. So Super Trend helped out and told you this would be a very good opportunity for a sell. It's selling. You could have caught at least pips. You could have caught at least pips from, it went down. I would have just scalped and got as much as I could. That's about 1775. Whew. At least 600 pips. Maybe even 700. I think 700 pips. It depends if you fell asleep, but even still 400 pips. Anywho, that's an aggressive way. What time is it? 6:38. So just anyways, as you can see, it's buying from it bounced off, just like what we were talking about. We've been saying it's gonna more than likely bounce. I wouldn't just rush for a sell just because you see this. That's kind of exactly why, at the same time, that you have to be mindful. I will also say, and I will talk about parameters at the end, that remember, guys, like the beauty of, now I won't even say the beauty, but the main objective of scalping is getting as much as you can. So if it hits over 500 pips and you're still in a trade and you haven't even moved your SL and you're just thinking, well, it has to hit my 600 pip TP. No, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't have to. You don't always have to be TP focused if you got enough pips. Remember that. You don't have to be TP focused. You usually like that because that's swing trading, but scalping is getting as much as you can. So it may not hit your main goal of 600, it may hit 400. But surely I am excited that I was blessed with 400 than nothing. So like, don't be greedy. And it's so easy to be greedy scalping. Don't be greedy. You remember, you live to trade another day. You don't have to hold a 700 pip SL. Like, guys, remember, you're more than likely aiming to get in the market multiple times a day. It's okay, right? It's okay to lose sometimes. It's okay to get out when you winning enough. So, but we can't be too TP focused. And now, as much as I help with TP, we just can't be TP focused all the time. You should not be sleeping and scalping, because one, that's something you're instantly doing. So you're manually doing it. So it shouldn't be something you're about to fall asleep. So just a couple of tips. We're about to do BTC. Do you ever get into a trade and stay in a trade? Oh, wow. Answered your question. I will only fall asleep in a trade if I have an SL up in profits. And do you always exit before you go? I will always, yeah. Can someone explain resistance support? Big T, I would watch my call. I have a call over resistance support, and I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. What do you think about the previous support at 1750? So watch old sessions. Appreciate you, JSX. Definitely, I have a session about it. It's just I wouldn't have the time right now to talk about support and resistance at this second. So I would recommend watch my session. I just go to my favorites. You can literally see resistance support, and it's a call dedicated for that. So what I'm basically saying is, if it closes above 1860, that is a buy. If it closes below 1768, that is a sell. If it closes above, remember you have this minute thing that goes down, a timer. So if it closes above this, you look at the timer, and it hits 15 minutes, and you have till 15 down to 10, basically first 5 minutes to make a decision to get in. I would always recommend in the first minute you do not get in. Just get your MT4 ready or whatever you use for leverage trading. Make sure if you're on ETH, you look at BTC and XRP, mainly BTC. Is BTC doing what you're thinking it's doing? So if you call an ETH a buy, you need to make sure BTC is buying for the most part. You can also look at XRP if you want. Same for ETH. If you're looking at BTC for a buy, look at ETH. They're like brothers. Cool. All right, let's do BTC. Woo! All right, so I'm going to do the alerts on here. I'm going to put the alerts. So I go to clock with the plus. And I'm going to do crossing up. And all I'm going to do is put this in. Put in what I have. TV stands for trading view, not just television. Again, this is market execution. No orders. So you probably like, so Sean, you just telling us when to get in? Yes. How do I find a SL and a TP? Guess what? I got you. So we're going to cut in between this call right now, and I'm going to show you that. Then we're going to go to BTC. This is going to be the halftime show. So get ready for the halftime show. I'm about to show you parameters. So there's two ways to find parameters. I'm going to make this a very full call. I will do BTC, but I'm going to do SL and TP real quick. So I'm going to teach you, it's not teaching you, just reminding you. You should already know if you've been on my calls before. But if this is like your first time on my scalper, at least I'm going to show you. So this is just telling you when to get in, right? Cool. So how do I find my parameters when I do get in, right? So always remember what you're really looking for is these two, the either buy or either the sell. Like, you're just matching this at this point. So if you need a picture to what to look at, you're looking at this too, right? So how do I know it buys in parameters or whatever, right? So let's say it bought above 1860 and you waited the minute, it looks good, BTC is buying, yada, 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 right? You're about to get in. Cool. So as for a TP, This is one way to do this. And I'm going to show you the other way. The other way is easy, but this is also, if you can do this, you can do the other one, right? Personally, what I would do, so let's say we got in at around 1865, whatever. We're just making an assumption, right? I'm going to tell you the way I do it, and I would recommend it, but there's an easier way too. But it depends which way you call it depends what you call easy and what you care more to do. So the two sides. So you're gonna hear one side, you're gonna hear the other, right? Just to let you know. Like, you're gonna hear one side, you're gonna hear the other. If this one sounds a little too complex, cool. I'll tell you the easier way, but I think this one is easy too. If you can mark this up, you can mark another structure up. I'm gonna be very blunt. You could. So, you want to be cautious. Well, not be cautious. You want to be aware of what you have the structure at, right? And my Instagram is KINGSEUN3. So you want to be cautious. It's around 1855. Make sure you move this back to a line. Personally, if I'm looking for a TP, I'm looking for at least 300 to 400 pips. For ETH, up to 800. So 300 to 800 pips. On ETH, that's like 30 to 80. Because you've got to factor that one digit number right here. So, right? So 1855, you don't have to aggressively add 30 and just say, hey, okay, I'm going to do that. Well, 300. If you're going to do that, you might as well just do it the easy way I'm about to say on option 2. But you do an option 1 for a reason. You're looking for a very light resistance, very light structure. That's what you're looking for, a very light structure. So you come up here. This is a very light structure. Look to the 1, 2, 3. That's enough. Well, Sean, you have all these. Cool, I do. But it is not necessarily for you to get, actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very light structure. You can get a 300 pip TP. Can you get more? Right here at 1911. That's a TP2. I would write these down. Can we get a DCX in the chat? If you're getting some sauce today, if I was you, I would write these down. Look at the blue just crossed the green right here too. Turned green because it crossed. And even right now, it's just telling you it's potentially about to be buying. So that's why I was like, I mean, it's good that we had this right here. I just don't see any earlier times you could have gotten them for a buy. But anyways, I would do a T-point potentially maybe around 1888. I mean, just because that's a very good zone. And maybe the second one around 1911, right? Or you can use this one instead. This is 600 pips. It's up to you which ratio you really want. Do you see how easy that was? Like, it's not complex. TP, it's not complex. So, like, I'm already aware of what my potential TP is. SL, I like to put, if I'm getting for a buy, since the market's going upward, I like to put my SL below here. If you think about it just a little bit, you understand why you might think I would like that. Well, why would you want his SL below the structure? Oh, because if it goes back inside, it's obviously reversing. Ding, 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 ding. Cool, most of the time. But again, I'm also aware of my risk. I'm not trying to risk 800 pips if it shot all the way up, to the moon, and I'm still gonna stick to that, right? It kind of depends on where it closes. I mean, if it closes enough where I can still do that, I would like to do that. If it closes enough that I can still do that. Again, that is something that it's hard. That's why I don't say it often, but that's a personal thing. So that's what I would do. That's using a chart of what you already marked up. Cool. It's about to be 650. All right, that was very easy. Now I'm going to show you option 2. Option 2 of parameters. Everybody else, if you feel like I'm giving you sauce today, let me get a DCX in the chat. Talk to me. Let me know. Let me know. All right, so let's look at parameters right here. We're about to soon go to BTC. So if you have BTC up, you are smart. We're gonna soon go to BTC and like after I talk about this. So risk management, this is the other way you can do it. So I talked about option one, marking up your TP. For support, it's just going down, doing the same thing, going downward, right? And remember, you don't need to look for the biggest, best structure because you're just looking for something light. So you're looking for something in the 300 to 800 pip range. If you can get 600, cool, be my guest, right? I mean, but you're looking around 300 to 800 pips. Maybe in BTC, you're looking at 300 to 1200 pips. All right, so for BTC and ETH, XRP, here's the parameters. Basically, what we in DCX is kind of basically when you do get in. These are also based of when you get in too. So it's not where we put the TV alert or whatever you call it, right? Or your support and resistance. It is based where your MT4 is telling you got in, where your MT4 told you, right? That is your entry rate, right? So it's based off whenever you entered. You minus 300 plus 300 or minus 300 plus 400. You can do it that way. ETH plus 300 minus 300. XRP, right? I try to, put it in the same area so you see how we count it, right? If you want a bigger ratio, it's right here. Like, I mean, these are kind of based off of what you want. But at the end of the day, remember, you're just trying to get as much as you can from the market. So you don't have to be greedy. You don't have to be too TP focused. You don't have to, like, if you get 500 pips, my G, that's great. My brother, that is good. Like, don't overdo it. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you're going to overdo it, you better move your SL and profit. But you shouldn't risk your whole amount of what you won to hit a particular TP. Like, especially when we're scalping. That's not the objective. I mean, it's good if you do it, but it's not the objective. It's not a do and die thing. All right, so let's go to BTC. We're going to do BTC real fast. Woo! We talked about a full-fledged parameters, right? But guess what? We're not done. All right. So let's see what BTC has. So I can already tell you if BTC is up here, ETH is probably coming up. So ETH is probably going to come up to here, and we more than likely are going to see a potential buy. More than likely. So the ETH buy at 1860 is what we're really looking at. So ETH potential buy is basically mainly what's going to be for what it looks like, especially after seeing what BTC is. So we're going to now go to the BTC and get prepared. So I'm going to do this the way I would expect you to do this, and then you're going to watch me do this fast. Yeah, everyone has a different amount. It's kind of these things I would recommend talk to the person that signed you up. It just really depends. I really hate those type of questions because that's a person that has knowledge of your exact amount in your account more than a person that you just it's a little bit harder for me to tell you that. I can always tell you amount 2%, 3%, 5%. I mean, I can always tell you the basics of those, but realistically, this resistance looks very easy. So the resistance here should be very easy. Remember, when you are looking at a structure point, you got a question. So it dropped heavy, okay? It increased, okay? But where did it go? I also see a lot of times where the market is pretty stale at somewhere, right? It's still here. It's still here. Consolidations. Well, not consolidations. Yeah, consolidations, right? So, right here. Do I want to go at this approach? I'll go in between. I really hate this. I hate it. I mean, I could go right here. It's like no matter what you do, it doesn't make me super happy. I like 31,465. 31,465 is the best way to go about it. And that's if you really being like, if you really picky. Regardless, you're good. I mean, you're good. But 31,465 is the best way. You cut in between this. You got 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an indent. 9, 10, 11. You can count that. 12. And you got it coming back up. 13, 14. 14 times in one day. That was easy, right? So we just got the resistance. I should have did it the way I will actually expect y'all to do it, but I kind of went fast. So 31,465. Go into question mark. Plus 100. So again, if you still wondering, Sean, why do you do that? Why do you add? Well, I'll say this. The market is always going to break through a little bit, but you can't just jump. Like, you see how it came up here? You shouldn't be automatically thinking, oh, it's buying to the moons. You just can't do that so quickly. You got to give 1 minute. It did shoot up here, but in the first minute, it went back down. A lot of times, if it's not really going to buy to the moon, it usually goes back down most of the time. So I do want you to have that understanding that if you ever see something where it breaks through or break and close, make sure that make sure you give it 1 minute to reveal itself. A lot of times it goes back down immediately. I'm letting you know that a lot of times. And so that's why I always say, give it 1 minute. You shouldn't even, technically, you should already open up your NT4. You do all your stuff, getting your stuff ready. By the time you're doing all that, 1 minute should have already passed. And you should look at the chart real quick before you get in and see it. I just don't see how you get it. People get in. It's crazy how fast people can get in. I don't even know if they even waiting for a close. It's like as soon as it fits 15 minutes or this time is done at 2 minutes 30 seconds, they're trying to get in exactly at that time. Try to create that snipe entry. Which, I mean, snipe entry is not always by the timing, but I don't even want to explain that. Like, it's be smarter. I would just be a little bit smarter. But anyways, let's look at a support. I mean, granted, first off, this looks like a very big support. Long-term support. Definitely right here. Whatever support I do find, I'll see. I wouldn't want it to be that far. That's roughly 2,000 pips. That is way too far for a resistance support. I don't care. I would find something in the middle, but I cannot have that be the support I'm getting for a sell. Especially, that's 1,000 pips away, almost, right? 900. So this can be a very good TP1. Whatever you pick, this can be a TP1. I'm very curious. You see this right here in the middle, though? I'm hoping it hits something. So let's look at that. We even have something up here. So let's look at some of the things that the chart has given us. So we come back down and we use what the chart is giving us. So we have something here. Doesn't even correlate with any of these two. Let's bring the chart a little bit in. I can get tempted. I could see how someone could call this a restructure. I can see it. We might have to. I really like 30,000 and 346. I really like that. I really, really like 30,000 346. So, and this may be something where you may just personally get in at an aggressive approach, and that's 100% fine. You may get in, and I get why you might do that. And I would use this as a TP. That's 1,000. That's about 9,000. That's like 900 pips. So I would use that as a 900 pip TP right here. And you actually have two. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This goes back to BTC again. What we did early. Oh, we already did this. No wonder I'm like, this looks beautiful. I mean, this is beautiful. And you go here, retest, retest, retest through our zones. Broke through a little bit. May even have a triple zone action, but we're not about to do all that today. All right, so the reason why I went with this route, for starters, I could even increase it to 3.8. Should I? Does it make sense to do that? Cool. Yeah. Hope it makes. All right, looks low. All right, cool. It acted like a level of support. Resistance here. Acted like a level of support. Level of support. Resistance, support. And support here. Price came up, went back down. Beautiful. All right. I mean, if you do want to be aggressive and go in from here at 30618, that's a good 300 pips. You could get in there and use this as a TP maybe. But this is a safer. I mean, it's a little bit above the 50 EMA, but I mean, you could catch it, but it could bounce off the 50 EMA. It's a very dangerous, like the ETH just showed you it did that. And it's moving exactly similar. So it'd be safer to do this one right here than do this one. I bet there are people that said 30625. It just, I mean, like it's right at the 50 EMA, and like you're expecting the blue line to at least come here. Granted, it should be a little bit up by then, and it may barely cross it, but it's just a little risky. I mean, if you want to, and again, that's like an aggressive approach to get in, maybe for 200-300 pips. I don't blame you, but I mean, if this is me being safe for everyone else, this is a safe sell. There's aggressive sells. You could get in aggressively right here. I can see that. I can see the aggressive approach, but I'd rather on a call like this still stick to something safe because I'm still not trying to. Problem with doing aggressive and someone doesn't know how to leverage right. There's always someone that doesn't know how to leverage right, and they're not aware. Like it's a little different when you know it's risky and you know how to leverage correctly. There's a difference when you don't know it's risky and you're leveraging because Sean said it. So it's like I want to do that, right? So it's already 7:03 NFT Tuesday for my boy Nick Gomez, and bam. So we got the buys and the sells. We ended the session off well. TP on a sell. I mean, I literally just explained. Oh, are you trying to know the number? It's 29540. But I mean, it's up to you if you want to use that one though. I was like, am I like, do people just listen to some things I say on this call? I was about to say, I thought I just said it. But 29540, again, it's that may be a little bit big for TP, and I explained it earlier when I talked about parameters. I'm explaining it. You do not need to be too TP focused. If you got 400 out of 800 pips, cool. But you shouldn't be down to nothing or lost your money when you were up. I know so many traders that do that. It's just very dangerous and it's greedy. And get at least, I mean, just be reasonable. So remember, scalping is about getting as much as you can, but at the same time, not losing everything you can. If you go inside a money booth, not giving income claims, but you go inside a money booth and you can grab about whatever amount you can grab, you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to throw everything so I can grab more. Like, I'm going to risk everything I have that I'm holding to grab. Like, remember, it's still about walking out with something, right? Like your Denzel, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Like Denzel Washington video. I know y'all seen it. I'm going to leave you with something. Right? At the end of the day, leave with something instead of leaving with nothing and gambling at all, right? Don't be that guy or girl or gal, all right? Anyways, hop on next session. Hope you enjoyed it today. When is the perfect time to move at SL? Trail stop loss, that's basically if something moved up 200 to 250 pips, then you can move it up by 100. That's like trail and stop loss techniques. If you only have one alert, which one do you recommend? I will base it off of what your super trend is telling you. So first, you need to know which one do you like better, BTC or ETH. BTC is for $250 accounts. ETH is for $125. So kind of base it off of which one do you like better, then base it off of, which one out of the four. So if you like ETH better, cool. Now, what is Supertrend telling you? You go to indicators, put Supertrend, click the red and green. If it's green, cool. Use the resistance zone alert. If it's red, use the sell alert. So you base it off of what Supertrend is currently telling, because it's telling you what's currently happening. So, anywho, that's like, I mean, it's easy to use it. You're just gonna have to, be by your laptop a little bit more. I mean, the only reason why you're paying $10 or $12 on TradingView is for convenience. But anywho, I hope y'all enjoyed this session. My name is Sean Ogatosin. I will be seeing y'all soon. And I hope y'all have a blessed week. And I appreciate y'all for everything. And I thank y'all. Crossing down. 30280. Bet. Oh, okay. I was like, that's an old alert. Y'all can drop some reviews in the chats. It's up to you.
So what I want to go ahead and tell you guys is if you put a horizontal line on your TradingView chart, you can set an alert that says crossing line, not just crossing up or crossing down, which means no matter what, if it crosses upwards or downwards, it's breaking and closing, you can take the trade. So we have zones that are 1,000 pips apart. Since it's 1,000 pips apart, if it crosses back into the zone, you can take the trade all the way down to the bottom zone, and that'll be for 1,000 pips. And then you can get another entry and secure some profits. So if you are somebody who wants to really get a little bit more in depth, get it every day, really learn what's going on, I want you to go ahead and go straight to step 2. Step 1 is done. Step 1 was getting your MT4 set up. You got in the zones. You're here with us. Step 2, get your discount starter package now. Now, I recommend people go ahead, and then this is something we'll move on to later on. But if you want to get help on a year-to-year basis, you pay a one-time fee every single year. It's about $3,000 to $5,000. Let's say for Crypto Party, I'm gonna say 3,000. 3,000, one full year, you'll have access to everything for a year. You don't have to worry about it being a monthly fee. 3,000 one time, and you won't have to do anything until next year. If you're somebody who's like, hey, I don't know, is there anything else? We have a 6-month and a 3-month package. And if you're somebody who just wants to test it out, we have a 30-day low trial, $185 for a 30-day trial. So let me know what you guys think. DM me on Instagram @SaidCampbell. Invite others to the next one, June 14th. Get into this free group so you can stay up to date. When we get to 300, we'll do a giveaway and we'll do a free crypto call going in depth on what you should have in your portfolio. I appreciate you guys for being here. I will see you guys on the next one.